Have you ever noticed something strange? The harder people chase happiness, the more unhappy they seem to become. Think about it. People spend years chasing money, recognition, relationships, success, bigger houses, better jobs, and more followers. They tell themselves, once I get that thing, I'll finally be happy. But then they get it, and somehow the happiness doesn't last. A few days later, a few weeks later, or maybe a few months later, the same feeling returns. The same emptiness, the same restlessness, the same question, why am I still not happy? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. And according to the Buddha, there's a profound reason why this happens. A reason that most people never discover. A truth so simple, yet so powerful, that it can completely transform the way you see your life. Because what if the problem isn't that you're failing to find happiness? What if the problem is that you've been looking for it in the wrong place all along? Today, we're going to explore one of the most life-changing teachings of the Buddha, a teaching that reveals why people suffer even when they have everything they thought they wanted. And by the end of this video, you may never chase happiness the same way again. Take a deep breath, listen carefully, because this wisdom could change your life. More than 2,500 years ago, the Buddha made an observation about human nature that remains just as true today as it was then. He noticed that nearly everyone was running, not physically, mentally, emotionally, constantly moving toward something, searching, wanting, craving, hoping, believing that happiness existed somewhere in the future. If only I had more money, if only I found the right partner, if only people respected me, if only my life looked different. Sound familiar? The human mind is constantly creating conditions for happiness. It says, I'll be happy when, and that sentence becomes a prison. Because every time one condition is fulfilled, the mind creates another, and another, and another. This is why so many successful people remain unhappy. From the outside, they appear to have everything, yet inside they feel incomplete. Why? Because external achievements can satisfy desires temporarily, but they cannot permanently satisfy the mind that keeps creating new desires. The Buddha called this tendency craving, not desire itself, but the endless attachment to getting what we want and avoiding what we don't want. Craving tells us that happiness is always one step away, always tomorrow, always somewhere else, never here, never now. And that is exactly why so many people spend their entire lives chasing something they never truly catch. Imagine a person running toward the horizon. The horizon always appears ahead. No matter how far they run, they never reach it. This is how many people approach happiness. The destination keeps moving. The goalpost keeps shifting. The finish line never arrives. The Buddha saw this clearly. He understood that suffering doesn't come simply from not getting what we want. Often, suffering comes from believing that what we want will finally complete us. Because when reality fails to meet our expectations, disappointment follows. And disappointment becomes frustration. Frustration becomes stress. Stress becomes suffering. This cycle repeats over and over. Yet most people never question it. They simply run faster, work harder, buy more, consume more, scroll more, seek more, without realizing that the problem isn't the speed. The problem is the direction. Imagine holding a cup with a small hole in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour into it, it never stays full. The issue isn't the amount of water. The issue is the hole. Likewise, many people try to fill an inner emptiness with external things. More possessions, more achievements, more approval, more validation. But the emptiness remains because the source of happiness was never outside to begin with. This realization can be shocking, especially in a world that constantly tells us the opposite. Every advertisement says happiness is one purchase away. Every social media feed suggests happiness is one lifestyle upgrade away. Every comparison convinces us that someone else has already found the secret. But the Buddha's teaching points in a completely different direction. He teaches that lasting peace does not come from controlling the outside world. It comes from understanding the inside world. Because the mind creates far more suffering than circumstances ever do. Two people can face the same situation. One suffers deeply. The other remains calm. Why? because the event itself is only part of the experience. The mind's interpretation completes it. This is why the Buddha focused so much attention on awareness. He knew that unless we understand how the mind operates, we become slaves to its habits. Habits of craving, habits of fear, habits of comparison, habits of attachment, and perhaps the most dangerous habit of all, the belief that happiness exists somewhere outside ourselves. Take a moment and reflect. How many times have you said, "I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll be happy when I get promoted. I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll be happy when people appreciate me"? Now ask yourself, did those achievements create permanent happiness? Or did the mind simply move on to the next target? For most people, the answer is obvious. The cycle never ends. And that is exactly what the Buddha wanted humanity to understand. Not to make people pessimistic, not to reject success, not to avoid goals, but to free people from the illusion that external things can provide lasting fulfillment. Because when you stop demanding happiness from the world, something extraordinary begins to happen. You start discovering a deeper source of peace that cannot be taken away by circumstances. And that is where true transformation begins. And yet, this raises an important question. If chasing happiness through external things doesn't work, then what did the Buddha discover that millions of people still overlook today? The answer begins with a simple but life-changing realization. Everything changes. Everything. Your emotions change. Your circumstances change. Your relationships change. Your body changes. Your thoughts change. Even the things you love most will eventually change. The Buddha called this impermanence, not as a depressing truth, but as a liberating one. Because much of human suffering comes from trying to hold on to things that were never meant to stay the same. We want success to last forever. We want youth to last forever. We want pleasure to last forever. We want people to remain exactly as they are. But reality doesn't work that way. Life moves. Life flows. Life transforms. And whenever we fight against this natural process, suffering appears. Imagine holding sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze it, the faster it slips through your fingers. But when you hold it gently, it remains. The same principle applies to life. Many people don't suffer because they lose things. They suffer because they refuse to accept that change is part of existence. The Buddha understood that peace begins where resistance ends. This doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean becoming passive. It means learning to flow with reality instead of constantly fighting it. Think about how much energy people waste wishing the past were different, replaying old conversations, regretting mistakes, holding on to anger, holding on to guilt, holding on to disappointment. Years pass, but the mind remains trapped in moments that no longer exist. Meanwhile, life continues moving forward. The Buddha taught that every moment spent fighting reality is a moment lost from truly living. And perhaps nowhere is this lesson more important than in today's world. Modern society has created endless opportunities for comparison. Every day, people compare their income, appearance, relationships, achievements, vacations, lifestyles, and social status. Comparison has become so normal that many people don't even realize they're doing it. But comparison quietly steals joy. Because no matter how much you have, there will always be someone with more, someone richer, someone younger, someone more attractive, someone seemingly more successful. If your happiness depends on being ahead of others, happiness becomes impossible to maintain. The race never ends. The Buddha's wisdom offers another path. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Instead of asking, "Do I have more than them?" ask, "Am I becoming wiser? Am I becoming kinder? Am I becoming stronger? Am I becoming more aware?" These are the questions that lead to genuine growth. Because real success isn't measured by what you own. It's measured by who you become. And this leads us to one of the most powerful teachings of all. The Buddha taught that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your mind. Not by luck, not by status, not by possessions, but by your mind. A disciplined mind creates peace. An undisciplined mind creates chaos. A focused mind creates clarity. A distracted mind creates confusion. A grateful mind discovers abundance. A craving mind experiences scarcity. This is why inner mastery is so important. Most people spend years trying to control the world. Few spend time learning to control themselves. But the greatest victory is not over other people. It is over your own mind. Because once you learn to observe your thoughts without being controlled by them, something remarkable happens. You stop reacting automatically. You stop being pulled in every direction by fear. You stop being controlled by every emotion. You stop seeking approval from everyone around you. And for the first time, you begin to experience freedom. Real freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom from being controlled by every impulse, every desire, and every fear. The Buddha discovered that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you uncover. It is already beneath the noise, beneath the distractions, beneath the endless wanting, beneath the constant search for more. Imagine a lake. When the surface is disturbed, you cannot see clearly, but when the water becomes still, everything becomes visible. The mind works the same way. Most people live in constant mental turbulence, worrying, comparing, craving, regretting, overthinking. But when the mind becomes calm, clarity emerges naturally, and with clarity comes peace. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Problems will still exist. Challenges will still appear. Difficult moments will still come. The Buddha never promised a life without difficulties. He offered something far more valuable, a way to remain steady within difficulties, a way to remain peaceful amidst uncertainty, a way to remain strong when life becomes challenging. Because true happiness is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of wisdom. It is the ability to face life exactly as it is without losing yourself. So the next time your mind tells you, "I'll be happy when," pause for a moment. Notice the pattern. Ask yourself whether happiness is really waiting somewhere in the future, or whether the peace you've been searching for has been available all along, right here, right now, in this moment. Because according to the Buddha, the greatest mistake most people make is spending their entire lives searching outside for what can only be found within. And the moment you truly understand that, everything begins to change. You stop chasing. You start living. You stop seeking approval. You start trusting yourself. You stop depending on circumstances for peace. You start creating peace from within. That is the wisdom of the Buddha. That is the path to inner freedom. And that is why most people chase happiness the wrong way. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on which part touched you the most. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep Buddhist wisdom, life-changing insights, mental strength, self-improvement, and timeless teachings designed for modern life, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Join us on this journey toward greater awareness, wisdom, and inner peace. Thank you for watching and being part of the Wisdom Hub Buddha community. Until next time, stay mindful, stay strong, and continue walking the path of wisdom. Wisdom Hub Buddha.